New Year's resolutions. I love a new beginning. And you've heard me say it before. I said it at the beginning, probably of last year in the fall. I love new beginnings. All my favorite movies, all my favorite characters, all my favorite books start with this character who had a chance for a new beginning, had a chance for a changed life. A new beginning is just a chance for a fresh start. And I know we're already into January, but it's a new year, 2012. Chance for a fresh start. And man, if you're anything like me, whenever there is this opportunity for a new beginning, whether it's a new year, a new school year, you always kind of start to think, like, who am I? Like, where am I going with my life? What am I about? You know, what do I want to change about me? And, you know, we all, I feel like, have something in us that we want to change. Not just superficial stuff. There's little things we want to change, like, yeah, I want to get more in shape. I want to work out. You know, I want to look a little bit better. Hold up. You know, there's that superficial stuff, but then there's also some deep stuff. The deepest parts of us, some really ugly parts of us that we've noticed, that we want to change. You know, we notice how we treat people poorly, or we lie to people. There's just these things deep inside of us, these insecurities, these doubts, these fears that we have, and we're just dying to change those. I'm not talking about the small things, I'm talking about the deep parts. And I've come to find out that, man, if you're anything like me, we're just helpless to change those things about ourselves, those really deep parts of us, those things about our character, about who we are, those fears, those doubts, those insecurities, those habits and characteristics that we don't love in ourselves. It's just hard to change. People don't change. You may have heard that before. People are people. People don't change. It's really true. It's hard to change yourself. It's tough work. You know, somebody you've been for 16, 17, 22, 23 years of your life. How do you go about changing that? And I've also come to find out, guys, man, the only real opportunity for life change is Jesus. Really knowing Jesus is the one way to life change. I know I'm jumping in deep quick, but guys, I want to get this through. It's all about Jesus. And not just knowing about Jesus, but knowing Jesus. So, to maybe paint a picture, the government, what do they know about me? They know my social security number, they know my birthday, they know how tall I am. They probably know close to how much I weigh, what color my hair is. They know how much I paid in taxes last year. They know what kind of car I drive, my license plate number. They know a lot of stuff about me. But Chris Weatherford, Chris Gilpatrick, or Michael Anderson, I bet they know me a lot better than the government. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
They know me, like know who I am. Know me. Not just know about me. They know stuff about me. There might be stuff that the government, might be stuff that, like, you know, lawyers and lawmakers and, you know, police officers know about me that they don't. But these guys actually know me. There's a huge difference between knowing about, not right now. There's a huge difference between knowing about somebody and knowing them. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I mean, one of you who has a favorite actor, a favorite athlete, a favorite musician, you may know a ton about them, but that doesn't make you any closer to knowing them. We talked so much last semester about how relational we are as people. I said relationships aren't just part of life, they're what life is all about. We are designed relationally, created relationally from the very beginning to be in relationships with each other as friends, parents, cousins, brothers, sisters, wife, husband, you name it. Relationships define who we are. We are changed. We are molded by the relationships that we're in. And I would argue that we were created like that, absolutely 100% designed to be in a relationship. You remember last semester, if you hear how we talked about how God designed us to be in a relationship with Him. That's how it was meant to be. It was purposed for that. And the greatest thing that God ever did, 100%, was allow us to see radical change in our life by giving us the opportunity to know Jesus. Catch that. I didn't say to know about Jesus. I said to know Jesus personally, as in a relationship, as in two living people knowing each other, talking, sharing, loving each other, having a relationship. God gave us this opportunity, incredible gift. God didn't leave a strict list of rules. He didn't leave this treasure hunt where you're like, oh, here's a clue in the Bible, and that leads me to this place in London, and I have to open this special book, and now I really know God. Now I really know what it's like to live. There's not this magical formula, not this giant list. Because we see that in culture, don't they? A lot of times on TV, they say, if you want to know God, you've got to quit having sex, you got to quit smoking, quit drinking, quit doing all this stuff. And then you're close to God, then your life has meaning. It's this list of to-dos, you know, and don'ts. It's not a relationship, but a relationship makes things so much easier. How much easier is it, you know, instead of your parents at the day you're born leaving this giant book and saying, here's what the person I want you to grow into be. I want you to turn into this person. I want you to do your chores on time. They write you this book, and 2 days old, you're like, oh, all right, well, we're going to get out here. We wrote you this book. We left it for you. We left you some rules. I think you'll make it on here. Probably going to be okay. Take off. Instead, your parents are with you from 1 to 18 years old, fortunately or unfortunately, maybe for some of you. They're molding you, they're growing you, they're turning you into, helping you become the person that you want to be, who you should be. It's a relationship. You are molded by your relationship. I promise you, if you're in a relationship with a guy or girl for more than a year, you're going to start to act the same, start to talk the same, laugh at the same stuff. You're molded by those relationships. And thankfully, God didn't leave us this strict list of rules. Colossians, it's a very book in the Bible, chapter 2, verse 20 says this. Since you died with Christ to the basic principles of this world, why, as though you still belong to it, do you submit to its rules? Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch. These are all destined to perish with use, because they are based on human commands and teachings. Such regulations indeed have an appearance of wisdom, with their self-imposed worship, their false humility, and their harsh treatment of the body. But they lack any value in restraining indulgence. Listen, it's saying these rules, these things that we impose on ourselves, we still act, even if we know Jesus, some of us still act like, man, we've got to have this list of rules. We've got to do things right. Some of you are under this stupid illusion that Christians have it all together, that they have this list of rules, that they're perfect people, that they got it all going on for them, that they're not drinking, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, that they're perfect people, and that God loves them because of that. That's stupid. That's really stupid. I hope you hear me. It's a relationship. Just like any relationship, it's going to have its pitfalls. It's going to have its downfalls. Just like any relationship, there's going to be tension. But it's not this pressure of following some list. No, Jesus. It's as simple as that. Thank you, God, so much for sending a person, making it so simple for us to understand, to where a farmer who has zero education or a nuclear physicist can understand it. It's simple. Know Jesus. Know God. John chapter 14. I lost my place, so I'm going to switch to it real quick. Hope I can get there quick. John chapter 14, and it's verses 7 says, if you really knew me, and this is Jesus talking, you would know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him, and you have seen me. How awesome is that? Simply knowing Jesus, knowing who he is, being in a relationship with him, not knowing about him, puts you in connection with the God of the universe. Not because of anything you can do, not because of you following some list of rules, not because of you being a perfect person, but just because you know Jesus. That's it. You are connected with the God of the universe who loves you desperately, like his child. That's so cool to me. And some of you, maybe you're already kind of following Jesus, you're into this church thing a little bit, but it's been Jesus plus. Maybe it's been Jesus plus something. Jesus plus, you know, I've got this other relationship with a girlfriend I'm really counting on carrying me out. Or it's Jesus plus, you know, I just escape in music. You know, that's what does it for me. Or Jesus plus, you know, I'm also going to be a really good kid. I'm going to make good grades. You know, I'm going to follow the rules. I'm not going to go get drunk on the weekends. I'm going to act perfectly. I'm going to be the good kid. You know, everyone calls a good kid. That was me in high school. And feel like maybe that earns me a ride with God. It's not Jesus plus. It's Jesus and Jesus alone. It's all about Jesus. John 14, John chapter 14, verse 7 says this, or 6 says this. Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. It's all about Jesus. End of story. That's what I want to hear you tonight, because you're about to hear some awesome stories over the next couple of weeks about how Jesus and knowing Jesus, not just knowing about Jesus, impacted these leaders' lives. You're going to hear stories about how Jesus came in and radically changed who they were, those deep parts. Not just the superficial, like I dress better on the outside, I'm wearing the Christian t-shirts, I'm listening to Jesus music. Not just, hey, I look better because I'm not going out partying on the weekends, but Jesus who deeply changes these leaders who's deeply changed their lives because they know him. They have a relationship with him. Guys, it's all about Jesus. I can't wait for you to hear these leaders' stories. Next week you're going to get to hear from Josh. Please come back. It's just going to be awesome to know how Jesus has radically changed his life. Let me pray for you guys real quick, and then stick around. If you guys want to go to